Welcome to the 500th episode of the Domain Name Wire podcast. It has been 10 years since Andrew Illumin started the podcast, and in that time, he has interviewed notable figures like Paul Makapetris, the inventor of the domain name system, and Matt Mullenweg, the creator of WordPress. For this special episode, a guest turns the tables and interviews Andrew himself. They dive into what it is like to publish a podcast and some of Andrew's favorite memories from the past decade of podcasting. It is a fascinating conversation that offers a behind-the-scenes look at the challenges and rewards of running a long-standing podcast in the domain name industry. Also featured in this episode are discussions about the departure of DAN, domain auctions, and the Ethereum Name Service. With so much to cover, this milestone episode is a must-listen for anyone interested in the domain name industry. Andrew Illumin has been registering domains for over 25 years and has been publishing Domain Name Wire since 2005. His expertise in domain names has been quoted by major publications, including The Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and National Public Radio. You can connect with Andrew on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. In episode 20 of the Weekly Wings Drone podcast, Paul Rossi, Samuel Stansberry, and Terry Neff bring listeners the latest updates from the drone and space industries. From SpaceX's historic commercial spacewalk to the growing role of drones in disaster recovery, this episode covers an exciting range of topics. The episode begins with a discussion on SpaceX's groundbreaking commercial spacewalk. The hosts highlight the significance of this event as the first non-government-led spacewalk, emphasizing the role of private companies in space exploration. They talk about the experience of the astronauts, the challenges of working in pressurized suits, and the impressive height at which they orbited, higher than the International Space Station. Next, the conversation shifts to the powerful impact of drones in disaster recovery efforts, with a focus on footage of recent severe weather events like Hurricane Francine. The hosts discuss how drone footage aids in real-time assessments and visual storytelling, helping emergency teams and the public better understand the extent of the damage. The Tech Spotlight covers Alarm.com's recent patent for drone-based home surveillance systems. The team explores the potential of drones to enhance property security and how this new patent could transform the future of home and business security by integrating dynamic, responsive technology into existing security infrastructures. The episode highlights the expansion of Canadian-based drone show company Illumin into the United States market. The hosts share details about recent spectacular light shows held in Toronto and Florida, emphasizing the growing demand for creative and immersive drone shows across North America. The episode covers the acquisition of Skyfire Consulting, which partnered with Echelon Artificial Intelligence to launch Skyfire Artificial Intelligence. This venture focuses on using artificial intelligence-powered drone technology for emergency response, law enforcement, and military applications, marking an exciting step forward for the drone industry. In the regulatory corner, the hosts revisit the ongoing legal battle involving North Carolina drone pilot Michael Jones, whose case has now reached the United States Supreme Court. Jones is fighting for the right to offer aerial imagery without being classified as a licensed surveyor, a case that could set a precedent for the drone industry nationwide. The episode wraps up with a discussion of the recent passage of the Countering Chinese Communist Party Drones Act by the House of Representatives. The act aims to restrict the sale and distribution of Chinese-made drones, such as those from DJI in the United States, with further actions pending in the Senate. The hosts explore the potential implications for the United States drone market and public safety sectors. Ella Seaton, a contributing writer for the Crimson White, shares her thoughts on the evolving landscape of media consumption in her opinion piece titled "TV is Out, Podcasts Are In." Ella begins by expressing her belief in adding a soundtrack to your day. Whether you are doing homework, cleaning your bedroom, or trying to keep your eyes open on a long drive home, what you listen to plays a pivotal role in how you go about your daily tasks. But music is not the only option. There exists a multifunctional and engrossing alternative: podcasts. Podcasts are a medium of streamable, long-form audio content, with each episode focusing on a central theme or topic. This is a relatively new classification of long-form media, first appearing in 2004, but only achieving mainstream popularity in 2014 with the introduction of narrative podcasts. A study from April found that 100 million Americans now listen to at least one podcast every week. The percentage of Americans who have listened to a podcast increased from 64% in 2023 to 67% in 2024. This growth is most rapid among the 59% of 12 to 34-year-olds who listen to podcasts. This group serves as the frontrunner for consumption in comparison to other age demographics. However, Ella points out the concerning reality that the attention spans of young people are shrinking. As platforms such as TikTok continue to gain popularity, our attention spans are suffering from the consumption of short-form media. As much as she enjoys scrolling on TikTok, she has noticed how difficult it has become for her to pay attention to a movie or even a television show. Platforms that once had an emphasis on longer content, like YouTube, are introducing new concepts like YouTube Shorts in an attempt to combat the resulting loss in engagement. So how do podcasts manage to consistently gain and retain young listeners on a monthly basis? First, podcasts have a very diverse content landscape. There is a show for everyone, no matter your interests or lifestyle. With over 5 million available globally, topics such as pop culture, politics, true crime, and finance barely scratch the surface of potential listens. They are also convenient. Ella mentions how she can play an episode of The Broski Report while doing her makeup in the morning or walking to class, or most commonly, with the show as background noise while completing homework. You can make the choice between actively and passively engaging with the content. Podcasts allow you to learn in a low-stakes setting. Ella loves having her internal file folder of fun facts, and podcasts have been her greatest suppliers. Absorbing new information has positive effects on mental health because it is directly associated with both self-determination and self-confidence. Moreover, podcasters often feel more authentic than traditional celebrities as a result of this communicative form of content sharing. Podcasters frequently share personal narratives, struggles, successes, and opinions. Even if it may be one-sided, this more direct line of communication helps to foster the idea of community and trust. This also gives opportunities to listen to and learn from those with different opinions or life experiences. Whether you are looking for a morning pick-me-up, background noise while doing homework, or even something to help you fall asleep, soundtracking your day with podcasts has numerous benefits extending far beyond just entertainment. As a versatile and accessible form of media, podcasts appeal to a vast audience of people, making it easier than ever to find content that resonates personally and enriches daily life. In a timely move, the Illinois Department of Public Health has released a new episode of its This is Public Health podcast, focusing on the upcoming fall and winter respiratory virus season. The episode features insights from the state's chief medical officer and the state epidemiologist, who discuss everything from vaccine efficacy to preventive measures. Dr. Samir Vora, the director of IDPH, emphasizes the importance of preparing for the respiratory viral season as summer comes to an end. RSV, COVID-19, and flu are all expected to increase, and Illinoisans should begin using all the available tools, including vaccines, to prevent illness for themselves and their loved ones, he says. The department is closely monitoring the situation and has made educational resources available, including this new podcast episode. The episode arrives as data from IDPH's Seasonal Respiratory Illness Dashboard shows a slight decline in COVID-19 hospital admissions, now at 2.4%. The overall respiratory illness level in Illinois is currently listed as minimal by the Centers for Disease Control. New vaccines for COVID-19, flu, and RSV have been approved by the Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control for this fall. The new COVID-19 and flu vaccines are recommended for everyone over 6 months old. The RSV vaccine, however, is recommended primarily for those 75 years and older. if you received an RSV shot last winter, the Centers for Disease Control advises that you do not need another at this time. Additionally, those in the late stages of pregnancy are encouraged to get the RSV immunization to protect their newborns. Dr. Artie Barnes, the IDPH Chief Medical Officer, addresses concerns about the safety of COVID-19 vaccines in the new podcast. There is always a small risk of potential side effects from vaccines, but for the most part, these vaccines are extremely safe, she explains. The risk of not getting vaccinated is so much higher that there really is no comparison. Vaccination not only prevents serious illness from COVID-19, it also protects you from long COVID symptoms. State epidemiologist Graham Briggs adds another layer to the discussion, highlighting the communal benefits of vaccination. One thing we want to encourage people to think about is not just getting vaccinated to protect themselves, but vaccinating to protect loved ones, he says. If you have elderly people at home, or immune-compromised people at home, or young infants around, that is something to keep in mind to help protect those people around you. IDPH officials also stress the importance of staying home when you are sick to reduce the transmission of viruses. Stay home from work and try to minimize your exposure to other people as long as you have a fever, advises Briggs. Wait until you are feeling better and fever-free for 24 hours without fever-reducing medications before you start acclimating back into normal life. The new vaccines are widely available at pharmacies, hospitals, and community health clinics. Major pharmacy chains allow you to make an appointment to get a shot online. For help finding a provider of vaccines near you, visit vaccines.gov. The This is Public Health podcast generally drops new episodes twice a month. Recent episodes have covered topics such as substance use and overdose awareness and protecting our future, the power of childhood immunizations. In the latest episode of the Storm Skiing Journal and podcast, host Stuart Winchester sits down with Kelly Pawlak, the president and chief executive officer of the National Ski Areas Association. This episode, number 182, takes a deep dive into the past 7 years of rapid change in the skiing industry. Kelly Pawlak has been at the helm of the National Ski Areas Association during a transformative period for the sport. From climate change challenges to technological advancements, she shares her insights on how the industry has evolved and what the future might hold. The episode begins with Kelly reflecting on her journey and the significant milestones the association has achieved under her leadership. She talks about the importance of sustainability and how ski areas are adapting to the changing climate. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's a necessity, she emphasizes. Stuart and Kelly discuss the innovative solutions ski areas are implementing to reduce their environmental impact. From energy-efficient snowmaking machines to renewable energy sources, the conversation highlights the industry's commitment to environmental stewardship. The episode also covers the impact of technological advancements on the skiing experience. Kelly discusses the rise of digital ticketing, enhanced snow grooming technologies, and the use of data analytics to improve operations and guest satisfaction. Technology is revolutionizing how we approach everything, from guest services to mountain operations, Kelly notes. Another key topic is the importance of diversity and inclusion in skiing. Kelly shares initiatives aimed at making the sport more accessible to underrepresented communities. We're working hard to break down barriers and make skiing a sport for everyone, she says. The conversation then shifts to the economic challenges faced by ski areas, particularly smaller, independent resorts. Kelly talks about the financial pressures these resorts face and how the association is supporting them through advocacy and resource sharing. Our goal is to ensure that every ski area, regardless of size, can thrive, she states. To wrap up, Kelly shares her vision for the future of skiing. She envisions a more sustainable, inclusive, and technologically advanced industry that continues to grow and evolve. The future of skiing is bright, but it requires all of us to work together and innovate, she concludes. This episode of the Storm Skiing Journal and podcast is a must-listen for anyone interested in the future of the skiing industry. Whether you're a seasoned ski professional or a casual enthusiast, Kelly Pawlak's insights provide valuable perspectives on the challenges and opportunities ahead. That wraps up today's episode of Michelle's Podcast News. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check out the special 500th episode of the Domain Name Wire podcast and the latest from the Weekly Wings Drone podcast. See you next time.